Feldman not going to play. Ferguson not going to play. Cunningham, ace-queen offsuit.
I bet he's going to play.
2000 to play.
That's why you're good. Nothing gets by you, Gary.
Pass.
Tom Dwan not going to play, though. And Matusow, the king-queen. Now, under normal circumstances, I like king-queen off. But would you be calling a raise from Allen Cunningham, especially an early position raise?
Players.
Perhaps not. But he has got the button, he has got position. The 2 blinds, of course, who probably feels like he's got quite a lot of value. And as it happens, he hasn't got a bad flop for his king-queen. But it's a better flop for Patrick Antonius.
Yeah, Patrick Antonius with top pair. Cunningham's...
I think he's got too many. He has got a double straight draw here as well. He can catch a 9 to make a straight that he won't want to hit when he's up against Mike Matusow's hand. And he can also catch a king, which he would like to hit.
Cool.
There's only 1 king left in the deck, though. We can see 3 of these players have kings.
Phil Ivey out the way. He doesn't have much to carry on with this. Real dangerous looking board. Patrick with the best hand right now, he makes the call.
Yeah, Patrick going to play a little small ball there. He's not going to build this pot up even with top pair.
7.
Well, that's a dangerous card for all 3 hands.
Yeah, there's a 1-liner to a straight now. If anybody had a 9 in their hand, they would have made the straight.
Check. Check.
And it checks around. Here's the river.
9.
River is the 9. And wow, it's an action card there. There's a straight on the board. But Mike Matusow with the absolute nuts. Allen Cunningham with the queen high straight. And Patrick Antonius' hand is absolute garbage right now. He can only play the board.
I think he knows it is as well. But it's not going to stop him firing. Whatever he bets is pretty well what Allen Cunningham's going to lose in this pot.
1000.
I think Allen's going to call it.
13.
And Matusow's got to be just absolutely jumping in his seat.
It's a perfect spot for him as well, to have Patrick leading and Allen just going to have to make the call.
Cool.
Patrick does lead for 13,000. Allen calls. Well, it's an easy raise from Matusow. Obviously, he's got the absolute nuts. The only question is, how much does he raise?
The black chips.
Raise. Pass. 32 total.
Well, the bet's 32,000. Patrick Antonius knows he picked the wrong spot. He's out the way. Now it's up to whether Allen wants to call the other 19,000. Does he think that Mike's going to do this with just a queen?
Cunningham, one of the best players I've ever seen, and we've been doing this for 4 seasons. Cunningham's been here for 4 seasons. I have not seen a better player. Just uncanny the way he knows when he's beat.
And the thing about that we've seen from Allen is not that he's got the maximum when he's got a big hand. It's the fact that he's got away from so many hands and lost the minimum. Absolutely fantastic. It's not always about how much you can win. It's quite often about how little you end up losing with big hands. And that's exactly what he's a master of.
Mike Matusow wins a big pot there, and he has Patrick Antonius to thank for making that 13,000 bet on the river.
Anytime I win a pot, I'm happy.
And in first position, King 6 suited. Probably not a hand you play very often, but Patrick likes it.
Well, here's another hand I probably don't play quite the same way.
2,800.
Brian Townsend getting his feet wet straight away, racing it up with 7-4 of diamonds. That's certainly a statement of intent to the commentators, at least, who can see his hand that he came to play.
2,800 is called.
2 4s for Allen Cunningham.
Pass.
You see Chris Ferguson laying down there. Actually a perfect game for Chris Ferguson. He can kind of lay low and wait for the big hands.
Yeah, that seems to be the best game plan right now. There's so many, well, if you'll pardon my French, lunatics out there throwing their chips in the middle. Playing tight may well be the best strategy for this game at the moment.
And Patrick Antonius is going to call this out of position. King 6 suited.
Well, both his cards are live, and if he catches his king, he'll be quite far in front, barring the case 4.
Ace.
Wow.
Now this is a huge flop here. You've got Cunningham with a set of 4s. You have Patrick Antonius with a flush draw. And of course Townsend with nothing. That is the case 4.
Yep, the very last 4 has come out. And it's not stopping Brian Townsend firing a... Oh, he almost changed his mind. He's reaching for more. He'd like to lose more in this pot.
8,600.
You can see Brian Townsend there, a.k.a. SB Rugby. He has a 1% chance of winning this hand.
7-7 is probably the only way you can win this pot.
Exactly.
He's got a couple of chops though. 10-10, ace-ace.
And Cunningham has been waiting for this big hand all day long, very patiently, disciplined. And he's got a monster. Let's see how he plays it.
He's called.
He's just flat called. Oof, that could open it up for a Patrick Antonius, possibly putting some pressure on with a re-raise here. If he does, he's definitely going to get himself a caller.
Well, Antonius is definitely going to at least call this. You wonder if he's going to raise, though. Try to take it down without seeing a turn card. And it looks like reaching. He's reaching for more chips here. Allen Cunningham trying to stay cool.
Makes me wonder whether Allen had even thought about the fact that Patrick's still in this pot. He's now giving a cheap card for a flush. He calls.
He just calls there. Brian Townsend obviously very relaxed because he knows he's got nothing.
7 might be interesting though. Especially the 7 of hearts. Well, it's a heart. It's a great card for Patrick Antonius.
Pot is nearly $36,000. Let's see what Antonius does here. Cunningham knows that somebody might have had a flush here.
He's looking down at his chips. That usually means you want to bet.
22,000.
22,000, I believe, was the bet.
$22,000 bet.
Pass.
An easy pass for Brian Townsend, who's been running without the ball in this pot.
And Cunningham here has normally 10 outs to win the pot. Any 4, any ace, any 10, or any queen. But we saw there's no 4s left, so he's got 9 outs. Pot is $57,000, 22 to call.
He's making the call.
And the pot is $80,000 to the river. Allen Cunningham needs the board to pair. Well, Patrick Antonius is going to win this pot.
Last card between 2 of you.
And the river's a deuce of clubs.
The quintessential blank, the deuce of clubs.
Oh, and Patrick Antonius has got to love that black deuce coming on the river. And how much do you bet for value here?
Well, he's already asked Allen how many chips he's got left. Is he just going to try and move all in? Or is he going to try and milk Allen for all it's worth?
$75,000.
He bet $75,000. Pretty much pot size bet.
Well,
wow, the pot is over $150,000. 75 to call for Allen Cunningham. Clearly, Antonius is trying to represent hearts here, and that's what he's got.
Trying to pretend like there's a nut flush or something.
Barry Mundy overseeing the action here. This is a very big pot, over 150,000. Last year, we saw Allen Cunningham lay down aces. And this year, we're going to see Allen Cunningham lay down a set. Fantastic lay down by Allen. And that pot goes to Patrick Antonius. $150,000 in the middle. And Allen Cunningham making an excellent lay down once again. And that's why he has won over almost $9 million in tournament prize money.
A bittersweet smile there. Buttons in seat number 2. Phil Ivey in the big blind here. Action is on. Mark Goodwin. Mark's not going to play.
Matusow has a reach for, he's just calling the 600.
Well, Matusow's got king queen offsuit here.
It's not a bad hand to play. That, on the other hand, is a very nice hand to play.
Yeah, I think the 2005 World Series Poker Player of the Year, Allen Cunningham, is going to play that.
I tell you what, even I would play that hand. I don't think you have to be the 2005. I'm not saying I played as well, but I would play it. Phil's in as well.
Well, in a deep stack, no limit cash game, this is the kind of hand you want. Snap off a big hand. And
That's a great first card for Phil.
And now the question is, Allen Cunningham was a great player. Can he get away from pocket aces?
There's $11,600 in the pot right now. And we have a big, big pot brewing.
And I love the bet by Ivey here. He bets right into the razor.
And Allen knows he'd do this with so many hands.
Pot is now $21,000 here. Phil Ivey and Allen Cunningham, they know each other extremely well.
15,000 to play.
And Ivey has bet 15,000 right into the two red aces. And what do you do if you're Cunningham here?
Allen has already shown that he's got an overpair to the board. That's what his call on the flop represents. And yet Phil still keeps one afire. Allen's got to know that it might be on him at the moment.
Pot is now $51,000. And the river is certainly not an action killer. The 10 of spades falls. But now it's just a question of value betting. How much can you bet here? Can you bet half the pot? Can you bet 25,000? Can you bet more?
We're about to see what one of the best players in the world would bet in this situation.
He's done a great job of building himself a big pot. And this is the reason you play pocket deuces, so you can snap off these big hands. Phil Ivey's so deliberate with every move he makes.
What'd you bet?
35.
That's exactly what I thought you were supposed to bet. Good play. Play alike.
I think Gus saw the 35,000 coming before any of the others. He's on Phil's right. The question now, of course, is can Allen lay down the aces?
Now the pot is 86,000. It's 35,000 to call. And at this point, you know, you could, is there any way that Ivey had, say, pocket queens, pocket kings? If he was betting a straight draw, the 10
Well,
gets
he's
it.
laid it down. That is why he's the 2005 Player of the Year. Allen Cunningham got away from the aces. I say get away from. He still managed to lose over 20,000 in the pot, but it could have been a whole lot worse. Great play there from Allen.
Absolutely amazing. 99% of the poker players in the world would have lost their entire stack there with the aces, or at least another 35,000. Allen Cunningham shows us why he's so great. I mean, that was phenomenal.